This game had a really interesting start, so I wanted to like VOD review it basically, both for myself and also for you guys, because this stuff happens and it's important to know what happens when level 1 goes nightmarishly bad. So at level 1, this skirmish happens, which is really funky, but we get out, nothing too crazy is happening. But here's where it gets really interesting. They commit to this crazy level 1 invade, and our response is actually horrendous. Like my Varus is over here, TK is in the right position, I'm in the right position, but Varus shouldn't be here. Well, I don't know what he's doing, but they run in, TK flashes, they kill TK. This was a horrible decision by me. Do not do this. If you're in this situation, you just leave, you go to your blue and you clear. Don't do what I did here, but I mega egoed, won the smite, which got me level 2, didn't give Rengar level 2, and then I still die. But now the game's in a really weird spot because Rengar is still level 1 and he's low, so he can't just take Krugs here. And TK is coming back who can stop him from taking the Krugs. So Rengar's in a crazy position. So like if we watch what happens, he tries to take the Krugs, but TK just zones him off by just existing, so he has to leave. From the Fog of War, my perspective, I see this. I see Rengar is level 1, he got zoned off the Krugs, he didn't get the red. I know if I sprint to his top side, these camps are all here, and it's really unlikely that he'll be here to like protect them. The only way he can get here to cover these camps is if he recalls and runs from base. So like, I don't give a shit about any of my camps, I ignore all 5 of them, I just sprint to his chickens. I take his chickens, I take his red, being very careful, I'm in the bush, I'm ready to leave whenever possible, and then I take his Krugs too. And then I go deal with this crazy top lane fight. But what I've done at this point in the game is take a super lost state where we're down a ton of gold and actually clawed something back with this really creative invade that only happened because I could just see Rengar walking like this. But it's also really important to recognize that this game is in a nightmarish position. We are super behind really early. If I don't do anything, if I default to farming and I don't like heavily impact this game, this is like guaranteed to be a loss. So I know that I have to find some plays. I just have to. So I take this recall and I immediately run the bot side. And we find this crazy double kill down here that actually just saves the game. I talked to the Rengar about this in post game because I was curious what his perspective would be, but if he is here to stop me on this gank, this game is over. But instead, because I recognize that like I have to make a play, I know they have no sums, I'm here, we find this play. We know that Rengar is going to run to Grubs. I'll just turn the Fog of War back on. We know Rengar's top side, he's going to go to Grubs, so we start the dragon. But I also noticed, because we had the crab, that he started these late, which means that if his bot side camps are up, I have time to go invade them before he can be there to protect them. And that also means that I'm like kind of sacrificing my top side, but like he has control of my top side right now. If he wants these camps, he's gonna get them. So I run to his Grump, I take the Grump, and I don't keep going. I stop here because if he recalled after Worms and sprinted straight at me, he would be able to be here to protect his wolves. So I take the Grump and then I recall because I have a shutdown and it's really bad for me to die. Unfortunately, this happens where Rengar makes a really good decision here. He runs into my top side, he eats 2 camps, and then he waits for me with Maokai, and I'm just dead. This was a really good read by these two, but my bot just barely doesn't get a kill back, but like MF is pretty fucked in this lane. She's like down XP, she's super low, she's gonna get forced to recall, and she's gonna miss this whole wave. So they are like getting heavily punished for Maokai being topside. So I start to clear my camps, but in the back of my mind, I know that I need to protect my bot lane. I cannot let my lanes die to Rengar in this game, because if Rengar gets a little bit more ahead, this game instantly becomes unplayable. So I'm clearing my camps. I see, let's see. So they're fighting. We see Rengar right here. Varus is like dead at this point, but he does manage to trade one back. But I immediately notice I stopped taking the Krugs. Actually stopped taking them a lot later than I should have done. I should have not stopped to auto these. That could have been really bad. But then I run, save TK, run down MF. She barely lives. Actually, never mind. We do kill her here because she is trolling and just lets TK walk up and Q her. And then I know that Rengar's Grump is respawning. Even if he is running straight here out of base, reading that I'm trying to do this, he can't get here in time to stop me from taking this. So I get this for free. I'm pulling it back, playing safe. My number one goal is always to not die. Whatever play I'm doing, I want to not die when I'm doing it. So take a recall. I'm going to toggle the Fog of War to my perspective for the rest of the game so that we can just see what information I'm working with. I see this funky topside play. I don't know who else is here, but if there's a fight that starts, you always go to the fight. If I'm bot lane, it doesn't make sense to try to run all the way to top to impact this play, but because I am topside already running to these camps, it's always best for me to run to the play, because if Rengar shows up, if Maokai shows up, obviously Maokai can't in this situation, but in another game, their support support could be here, maybe the mid laner's here. You have to go to the fights. The fights are where the economy of the game is actually generated. The farm is just to help you get set up for the fights. These two camps together are worth 200 gold, but instead I went top and got a kill. So I get 300 gold, and then I can just fall back to these camps. So push top, grubs are spawning, so I run to grubs. This is a bit awkward because at this point, Rengar can destroy me 1v1 because this matchup kind of sucks. I don't know where Zach is. He died, but it's been long enough that he's about to start getting back on the map. But I ping my team to help me. My Fiora comes immediately because I pushed her top wave, and now this is bouncing back because of the even minion rule. The even minion rule states that if the wave is even and it's skewed to one side of the lane, it will push back to the other side. So currently this is a good wave state for Fiora because the next wave will come first for the red side and it will push back. So like it's okay for her to miss a little bit because in the long term, she's not missing that much. We get the worms. Ideally, I would have run straight to Gromp and then went to Wolves, but I was looking at bot lane and I was debating running straight down here to try to counter a Rengar play, but I ended up deciding not to. So I ate these camps and then I recall because I want to get this dragon. It's maybe not ideal. There's a world or there's a version of this game where it's bad for me to clear these camps, but it's always better to clear the other side of the map before you leave it. Like it's best to clear top side before going to bot side to take dragon, because if Rengar sees that I'm on dragon, he can look to invade my top side, and by clearing these camps, I prevent him from trading gold back. And I'm also just generating economy into myself, which is obviously good. But like that's why it's important to clear the other side of the map. You can reach any rank you want. All you need is information. I can teach you the concepts and mindset that I learned while climbing to masters so you can do the same. Whether you love the game or just want to impress your friends, anything is possible with the information I've collected for you in my jungle guide. If you're ready to take control of your rank today, check out the link in the description. There's a weird fight that breaks out down here. They barely live. This is awkward, but like I'm playing safe. My support is dead. They got a big shutdown. That's pretty bad, but me playing too aggressive and dying doesn't change that. I think we just give this dragon, right? Oh yeah, okay. So this play is super risky. Like going to try to kill this MF is dangerous, but this only works because one, I have vision of Maokai and Rengar hitting this dragon. So I know they're on that. And I have this ward right here, which means that if Maokai starts to rotate as soon as they see me, I'll have plenty of time to see that he's coming. So I see that MF is too far up here, and I know she has no flash. So I run down on her only because I have this vision. This is a bad play if I don't have this vision. Don't do this unless you have this vision. I have to lose my flash because I played a little awkwardly. Not ideal, but like I have to kill her as quickly as possible because I know that there's people here that can come kill me. My Varus needs to recall. I eat this wave. He's going to miss it anyway. And by crashing it, he misses it and MF misses it. So that's a neutral impact on bot lane, but it's economy into me. So I recall, collect my red. And at this point, the game has kind of been salvaged. We're up a little bit. We've kind of like clawed our way back into even footing, but Rengar is still really fed, which could definitely be a problem. I see there's a fight happening here. Immediately rotate to it. This is a little weird by TK. Oh, wait, no, it's not weird by TK. I forgot it's TK, so he can just 1v1 the enemy mid laner. My bad. I try to save my LeBlanc. TK kills Victor, even though he's down 3 levels. I guess Victor was kind of low, but this is still just funny. I barely survive here, kill Maokai, and I want to try to kill Rengar because he's probably still hanging around here, and Zach is here as well. But I have to be really careful because I'm low and I'm really squishy. Like I have Tabi, but that's not enough to stop Rengar Zach from just destroying me. So I hug this wall. I don't just walk in like this. If I tried to walk in like this, I guaranteed would have died. Because I walk this way and I go for the ward instead, I see Rengar and he can't see me. So he jumps, I auto him, he jumps on TK, we kill him. And then Zach comes in, we blow up the Zach as well. And now we're in a really good spot. We're up a lot of gold. We've gotten all the shutdowns. Rengar super greeted his build by building Hubris, which doesn't give him like a strong spike early, and he's not getting enough kills for it to actually be worth buying. There's nothing for me to do on the map right now, so just defaulting to sequencing my camps. We take the crab, I look for his chickens. Right here, I'm on 1.2k, which is like a Dirk. That's a pretty big amount of damage. Or in this case, it just gets me another component other than Dirk, but it's still like a significant component. So I want to make sure I have this before starting the next fight. There's probably a good argument to be made for me. Actually, wait, let's think about this. They're dead for this amount of time. Rengar's up now. We have a lot of control. No, okay, I think this is fine. If we didn't have this much map control and we wanted to be here for the Herald, it's bad for me to take both of these camps before recalling because this is delaying my recall, and therefore Rengar has better tempo than me, because if we look at the Fog of War, Rengar is already getting back on the map, and I haven't recalled since the last fight. Because we have so much map control, they can't just immediately start this, so we have a little bit more like time to work with. health. So I get my recall, I buy my Rectrix, I'm running back. This weird fight breaks out, but TK is disgustingly unkillable and they just kill the Maokai. Then I just run to the Herald to collect the free objective. And then this is like a kind of a weird situation. This fight is like really wacky, and now they're getting collapsed on by everyone. This has actually been a thing I've been trying to work on in my games. I over prioritize neutral objectives and farming over showing up to fights. So in this situation, what I typically would have done is drop Herald and try to force this tower. But I say, no, I am going to improve or die trying. So I will try different shit. If it doesn't work, fine. But I have to change the way I approach this, so I'm gonna try something different. So I drop the Herald so that Varus can do something. I don't know why he's AFK. He's not moving to the fight, whatever. But like the Herald is present in mid lane and I run to bot. And in the resulting fight, we kill Rengar. And then Victor's forced to TP to save Zac, and then Varus kills MF in mid. At this point, I'm not doing anything too crazy anymore. Their AD carry is kind of sprinting it. It's crazy that at 15 minutes, I'm 7-2-4. We went 0-3, and then my bot lane died again. Or no, we went 0-2 and then bot lane died. When you're behind and you're in a rough spot, make safe, calculated, but creative decisions. You have to look for ways to get back in the game. You can't just play normally. Like if I just went into my jungle and sequenced my camps like I would have in a normal game, I would be fucked. Because Rengar would get back on the map and he would be behind in tempo, but if he can just sequence all of his camps before like 4 minutes or like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, like it's not that bad. Like his tempo is fine. He can recall and run to grubs or run to dragon and they're just up 3 kills. So I know that like I have to make something happen. But I also have to be really careful. If I die more and we get further behind, the game just becomes harder. Nothing too crazy happens for the rest of the game after like the 15-minute mark. We're pretty far ahead, so we just like win fight after fight after fight. We have a few mistakes. I die a couple more times than I need to because I didn't respect the Rengar, but like my team is super far ahead, so it's okay. It's not okay for me to die because mistakes are bad and every death is a mistake, but it did not affect the outcome of this game because my team was ahead enough that my deaths didn't ruin the game. Hope this helps.